Quality audits. Exciting, huh? To be honest, I can feel your anxiety coming through this screen. If you think you're spending more time preparing for audits every year, that you're modifying more and more of your work just to meet a variety of audits, that the news is littered with more companies suffering from the fate of a poor audit, you're not imagining it. Since a boom in ISO certifications about 2 decades ago, the number of ISO 9001 certificates issued and the number of countries seeking certifications continues to grow. Many large companies established a strategy of certification long ago and have moved on, pursuing more specific standards to their work and industry. And every one of these requires audits, annual inspections, or investigations. As innovation and globalized competition increases, younger companies find their customers expect them to pursue these certifications if they want to compete, which is reasonable. While so much of the innovation we see today changes lives in extraordinary ways, we cannot forget a customer's safety is often placed in the hands of those creating this change. When I think of an audit, I am reminded of long road trips, crowded cars packed with kids. With a little planning, the right motivation, and a whole lot of teamwork, you just might get through it. And maybe that experience leads to more ambitious and exciting trips. On the other hand, without any real preparation or the buy-in of your teams, it can also end in mutiny. Audits, by their very nature, are a significant disruption to staff. At times, this can be the equivalent of adding a full-time job onto the shoulders of employees already working every last hour to launch and scale product operations. Navigating a team through this and an audit interview requires considerable skill, but with the right game plan, it doesn't have to be so hard. Imagine this car as your organization. They come in all shapes and sizes, and no two are ever quite alike. The requirements for implementing a new quality management system for a sheet metal manufacturing plant and a global multi-platform software development startup may be vastly different, but the components are actually quite consistent. In part 1 of our series, we will focus on those common components that are critical to your organization's quality engine and the fuel you depend on, customer satisfaction and continual improvement. In part 2, we will discuss motivation. Why are we even attempting this journey in the first place? In the example of a road trip, the incentive or reward was not only placed front and center, but frequently reinforced. The decision to seek certification may have already been made for you, but much like a road trip, it will be important to understand how a certification process not only is good for the company, but rewarding for employees as well. At some point, though, you are going to go through an audit. In part 3, getting your employees and your company through an audit experience requires a more tactical approach that leaves no loose threads to chance. You need a plan. We will spend some time walking through an approach to program management that will put you and the organization in a good position to be successful on the road to certification. In part 4, we want to give you some rules of the road. Planning and preparation are important, and they will make sure you are taking the right route to your destination. But the interview can be a petrifying experience for some. By putting these concepts into a rigorous practice schedule, you'll be ready when the time comes. What we're really talking about in parts 3 and 4 is providing you with specific action you can take to ensure your team walks into the interview confident and prepared. Finally, in part 5, when the closing meeting is over and the auditor goes home, you're not done. While many view this as the finish line, it is important for you and your organization to understand audit day is not the end. What you audited is now how you work. The next audit is just around the corner, and your results between now and then matter. I'm looking forward to discussing these topics with you over the next few weeks. Welcome to Getting Results with Attadale Partners. Talk to you again soon.